Hi guys, Adam here. So I've seen that there's a lot of interest in RTL-SDR, so software-defined radio. So I decided to make another video describing how to cope with those modules with the DVB-T, the television tuners or software-defined radio dongles on the Linux. So I'm using Ubuntu 18.04 freshly installed. And to make a use of it, you need to have a package named RTL-SDR. So this is the first thing you need to download. So that's the one. After you do it, so let's make it here right now at the moment. So I already have it downloaded, but let's make it. You need to do it as a root. So it's already downloaded and installed on my PC. Then you attach the dongle and check what is the chip that you are using. So in my case it is the one. I'm having a RTL2832U with the Rafael Micro chip add one. Then you have to blacklist existing driver for the DVB-T tuners on your kernel in Linux, which is done by making a file in the appropriate directory. So this is described here. So you add another file for blacklisting existing driver. So this is being done here, and in my case it is here. So there's plenty of files already in this directory. So this is the one that I had created. So let's display it. Okay, as you can see, the name of the blacklisted driver matches the name of my chip here. Okay, let's assume you have it all done, and now we can go to the applications that are available. So within the box, with this application, there are plenty of tools that you can already use. For example, one is RTL-FM, the second one is RTL test, so you can test your dongle. So let's make a RTL. Let's try. I don't know. Maybe what? Let's check if the dongle is working first. So that's the command to do it. So let's put it here. So it outputs some information about the dongle, for example, if the automatic gain control is working and what is the chip found and stuff like this, what is the serial number. But the other command that is probably more useful is RTL-FM. So this is the command, I would say, to decode transmission direct from the chip. So to make a full use of it, you need to add another libraries like SOX, for example, in here. So the full description of this tool is on this page. So let's go to the. So this is the RTL-FM guide. So that's the page. There's a kind of use cases described here, what you can do with this dongle, with this CLI command. Just to show you quickly how it works, I'll put one single command here. So let's hear some radio, FM radio. So let's make it. Okay, so I'll probably put some bad switches here, so the quality is not so good. But anyway, if you wish to play with this command, I strongly suggest you go through this tutorial and try some commands. It can even decode pagers or make a police scanner. So basically you don't need the graphical user interface. You simply put a CLI command and it works with some minor tweaks. So it can be done on the other Linuxes, like on the Raspberry Pi box or something like this. Okay, let's go to some graphic applications. So yeah, one more thing. So if you want to know more about the RTL-SDR and what it can do and what it can be used for, I strongly suggest you go to this wiki page. So right here, so you can also find what are the available revisions of these dongles In my case I'm using this one, so this is Rafael Micro based and RTL-2832, and he also displays some drawbacks on the chips, what you can get, what are the applications that you can use on every system, how to compile. If you don't have on your Linux, if you don't have this RTL-SDR prepackaged, you can of course make a compilation and install it from the source files. So do it, you need to make following. Okay, so this is also available if your Linux, for example, if it's not Ubuntu but some other Linux, you will probably want to do it from the source files, and this is the procedure you need to do. Okay, what about the graphical user interface? So for GUI there's a tool named GQRX, which is basically graphical radio scanner. So I already have it installed, but if you wish to install it, you need to issue following command. So let's make it here. Okay, so it's already installed, so let's launch it and we'll see what it can do. GQRX. Okay, so it's tuned to some kind of high frequency. Let's put some FM radio frequency, and let's see if anything is open here. And yeah, you need to pay attention what is set here. So for your device you might need to select appropriate value here. So in my case it is this one, and the number of the device. You can have several attached to your PC, but in my case there's only one, so I put 0 here. So we hear something. Okay, this is a classical radio frequency, but you can tune whatever you wish. For example, let's tune to the aircraft frequencies, and you have to change the values to AM. Let's look for some communication here from the airplane. Okay, so far I don't hear anything. Let's look for some. Yeah, this is radio scanner, so you can play with it. You can search for some, I don't know, police or some fire guard. That's the use of it. Yeah, I know what I'm doing. I've done something wrong. So this is the radio for the airplanes. It's AM modulation, so you need to switch for AM. I also put some values here. Okay. Yeah, to make use of it, I suggest to browse to the internet to look for some frequencies that can be listened. For example, in my case, let's put some tower frequency or some approach frequency. Let's see if there's any plane coming in. Transmissions here.
Every 500 meters, no distinct tendency. RDR runway 19 right. Above 1,500 meters, no distinct tendency. RDR runway 01 right. Above 1,500 meters, no distinct tendency. RDR runway 19 left. Above 1,500 meters, no distinct.
else can be found? I mean, what are the other applications that can be used on the Ubuntu for this RTL-SDR dongle? For example, one of good application is ACARS decoder. So this is ACARS. There are messages that are sent directly from the planes on the frequency 130 megahertz or something. There are text messages describing the current status of the plane, and there are some I would say important information from the tower perspective. To make use of it, you need to download this from this page. The procedure is that you need to have a GitHub application installed first. So this is the command that you do: sudo apt-get install git. Then you clone the directory, the source code directory, directly to your PC, and then make a build and compile. So this is a compilation from the source files. So after you've done it, and you can use the commands like this, for example, which will tune the tuner, the RTL dongle, to the particular frequency and decode the messages. For example, I've done it several minutes ago. So these are the commands. These are the messages received directly from the plane. So in my case, the command was this, because I'm using RTL-SDR, so this is -R and 0. That's similar to the GQRX configuration. And right here you have the messages that were received from the aircraft. Let's wait a minute or two, because it will take some time. There's not so many airplanes in my nearby, so probably we need to wait a couple of minutes. That's the one of the decoder that you can use. The second thing is that the most popular thing now is the dump 1090. This is a decoder which will receive and decode messages sent from the airplanes on the 1 GHz frequency. That's the most popular, and you can get much more from it. And let's check how it works. Maybe yeah, let's see if we have received anything from this ACARS decoder. Not yet. Okay, so the question is to wait or just to go to the other topic. Maybe let's let it make it here for another minute. So the dump 1090 is the most popular, and it can display in text format in the CLI. It can also display as a web server. It can stream the communication over the TCP to some server in the internet. All those informations can be utilized, and this is the most popular one. You can even install it on the Raspberry Pi. Let's see if there's anything received. Not yet. Okay, so let's switch to this dump 1090. I need to switch to another antenna, so because the frequency is quite higher. So previously we've tried to sniff on 131 megahertz. Now we'll be moving into 1 gig. So let's wait. Hold on. Okay, I've attached a second antenna, so this one is operating on 1 gig. So now we need to download the application, so I've already done it. If you wish to do it yourself, that's the procedure. First install the git, as I already said for another project, then clone, and then run it. So in my case I will try the interactive mode. I need to go into the document, into the directory for this program, and then run it. Okay, now we see that there are several planes nearby. It is receiving a lot of information, and it decodes the flight number, the current altitude, speed, and latitude, longitude, all the informations that are required from the tower perspective. So that's the interactive mode, so it can display in text mode on the CLI, but it also has graphical mode, so I will switch to that mode in a minute. But to use a graphical interface you would need to get an API key from Google, because it will rely on the Google map, and if you are not a developer and you don't have a key, you will not be able to display the map. Okay, I will show you how it works. So if you want to launch graphical mode, that's the command. That's the point, yeah. So it now will display some decoded frames on the CLI, and meanwhile it will also display some data here. So as you can see, it is unable to display Google Map, so don't worry. And let's see if it's getting some information. Oh yeah, that's the first plane, but you don't see the map because I don't have the key, the API key for the Google, so that's the disadvantage. The same information are displayed in frames, single plane here. But currently, yeah, those are frames decoded from the plane. There's a lot of information here, so only single plane, so that is why I didn't get any ACARS. Oh yeah, we have a second plane, so that's the net mode of the dump 1090. Yeah, let's go to other applications. So what else we do have? Let's stop this one. I think the very nice application that is quite usable is RTL-433. So the name suggests that it will listen to the 433 MHz frequency, and this app is able to decode sensors, weather stations, and other stuff operating on 433 frequency. It can be easily downloaded over Git tool from the GitHub. So let's switch to this. Yeah, that's the one. So that's the command to do it. It also works same way, so it creates some directory when you have to go and then make a build. So this is described here on the page, how to build an application. These are examples of usage, so there's plenty of things it can decode now, up to 140 I believe. So we're gonna check what it can see nearby. So hold on, I need to switch the antenna back to one that is operating on this frequency. Yes, so I have an antenna tuned to the 433 frequency, and now I will launch the RTL-433 tool. So this is, I believe the command is RTL-443-G. Okay, now it's locked and it tries to get some data over the air. So let's wait a couple of minutes. So to have some more information, please look at this page. That's the one. This is a developer's page on GitHub. As I told you, it can do many things. It can even decode some key fobs from ACARS. So this is the guy who created this application. Let's see if there's anything received. Yeah, there's a lot of information already. So we have some sensors being received. Let's wait for the information from the meteor stations. That's the first one. I think this one is in some area. Okay, let's wait a minute until it receives some more packets. Okay. That was the dump, but now we are looking at the RTL 433. So okay, I think we would have to wait a couple of longer to get more information. However, you can see that it is working, and there's a lot of sensors already recognized by this command. Let's try some help. There's a lot of options. Anyway, what else can be done on the Ubuntu with the RTL-SDR dongle? And there's I would say, a Swiss knife for the decoding of the radio transmissions on many frequencies. It is named a multimon-ng. Multimon-ng is, I would say, it's a great tool from this guy. It is capable to decode plenty of packet radio protocols or stuff like this. For example, it can decode pager, it can decode AFSKs and other things. Even it can decode a Morse. How it is being installed? So the procedure is following. I have this tool already installed, so I have compiled it from the source files, but the point is that I don't have a clue what are the frequencies that are used, for example, for ACARS. So in my case there are some examples here visible here, but I haven't tried. But yeah, we can try to do something, but I don't think it can receive anything here because the frequency is probably bad. Oh yeah, so I put something wrong. Anyway, these are the demodulators that are available within this tool, and it works as, I would say, post-processing of the RTL-FM that I showed on the beginning. So RTL-FM is used to get the data from the RTL-SDR dongle directly, and the multimon-ng is basically a post-processing tool which will decode the transmission on the base of the frequencies used for modulation. Okay guys, so I think that's all for now. So thank you for your time, and I hope that it was valuable for you. Please look at this page that will give you some more information about what you can do with the RTL-SDR dongle. There's also a blog for RTL-SDR that you can get many more information what is available now, because the applications that I showed are not the only one. There's plenty of them, and you can even find applications to decode trunking radio, even the ciphered one, but it may be illegal in your country to do it. Okay, thank you guys, bye bye.